Hey guys, how you doing? jpsarrireviews here. A new week, a new Prime1 Studio collectible. Every week, every Thursday, there's a new pre-order, a new reveal. And they look amazing. Everything the Prime1 Studio is doing right now is amazing. And when you think about this hobby, about the such a collecting world, one of the oldest licenses is the Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings has been around for quite some time, since I remember. And there are great companies producing stuff for that. One of them, Weta Workshop. That's the most iconic. But also now Prime1 wants to get into it. They already released for the Masterline a dark lore of Sauron statue. It looks amazing. But now they're releasing a diorama, which I'm in love with dioramas. This is a Gandalf versus Balrog diorama. So in this video today, I want to break down the good and the bad, what I like, what I don't like, and ultimately let you know that this is the ultimate piece for any The Lord of the Rings collection. So in the next couple of minutes, stay tuned. Alright guys, I'm here at Prime1 Studios website, and I will have the link in the description for those who are interested. And as you can see, it's already updated. It's in the system. So we're gonna go there. Now, of course, the pre-order is live, so you can pre-order. And of course, this is part of the premium Masterline collection. And a lot of people have, they get ticked off when this happens because this doesn't have a particular scale, but they're actually present at the same level as 1/3 scales. And sometimes this is the difference, or this is I think the point of contention for a lot of people is just because they want to have a specific scale, and based on that, the price should be based. Now, keep in mind that in this case, the factories in China, pretty much the factories that work for almost every company, they do not care much about the scale when they charge in this case, the companies. They only care about the size. The dimensions are what determine the price. So this piece is going to be around the same height, or I would say between a 1/4 and 1/3 in the same, I would say in dimensions. Dimension-wise, it doesn't mean that it has to do with the scale, but that's a theme that I probably need to talk about it in a chat one of these days, and I will. I definitely will. But here is the Lord of the Rings film, Gandalf versus Balrog exclusive version. $13.99. It's limited edition. We don't know the edition size yet, and of course you can choose the payment plan. I think it's up to 12 payments, if I'm not mistaken. But let's read the description. You cannot pass. I am a servant of the secret fire, wielder of the flame of Anor. The dark fire will not avail you, flame of Udin. Go back to the shadow. You shall not pass. Gandalf the Great. Prime1 Studio is proud to present one of the most iconic scenes in all of fantasy film, and the latest addition to our premium Masterline series, Gandalf versus Balrog from The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. This non-scale diorama, there's a scale. They're not telling you what it is. They should be more honest on that, that's for sure. Diorama captures the epic battle between Gandalf the Grey and the Balrog, also known as Durin's Bane, the Flame of Udin. Both are powerful near primordial spirits known as Maiar. This immense display of power was shown in their clash on the bridge of Khazad Dûm, coined the Battle of the Peak. This was the climax and the ascent of Moria by the Fellowship of the Ring, and crucial in the success of their mission. This visual striking piece features Gandalf and the Balrog atop the bridge of the Khazad Dûm base we have created. This base stunningly shows the history of the ruins of Moria, with Latin dwarfen markings and remnants of their past war and civilization. To fully recreate the scene, the colossal Balrog comes with an LED feature that illuminates the flames upon his back, as well as his ominous glowing eyes and mouth. He holds a flame sword and stares down upon Gandalf with a forbidding gaze. Gandalf returns the very same gaze, holding his staff in one hand and a glamdring sword in the other. His portrait, perfectly accurate to the likeness of Ian McKellen. We have carefully decided on every detail to bring you the most film-accurate diorama on the market. This piece recreates a scene that will be remembered in our hearts forever and can forever be a part of the Lord of the Rings collection. And the specifications, you got one Moria design team base, one LED light up function of flaming sword, back, eyes, and mouth, one right hand holding the flaming sword, and one switchable right hand holding the flaming whip. This is just for the exclusive. So now let's look at the pictures, and this is the part that everyone gets excited about, and I do get excited about. Look at this. I love this, of course, this presentation. Of course, everything that you see in the back, this is just pretty much Photoshop, but man, looks so great. This is a very iconic scene. This is more in tune with the film, with the posters in the film. Love this design. Man, that looks great. Of course, this is small scale, so some people will point out that the detail is kind of lost in that, but it's a diorama, and that's what dioramas do. You know, you have to present a grandiose scale, pretty much something that is so grandiose, bring it into a pretty much a more manageable scale, so you can see every detail that you were even you're unable to see even in the film because it was too dark. Of course, this scene is very dark, but here, man, love that. Love the fire effect, and the light up feature is amazing in my opinion. I love light up features when they're done properly. And what I like about this one is that the fire, in this case, the light up feature is not only working with the flames in the back, in his mouth, in his eyes, but also in the sword. It translates all the way to the sword, and that looks amazing. Look at that. Love the bridge. Love the detail on the bridge, on the stone and everything. This is a nice angle. Love this one. And here you see a big picture with everything from different angles. Here's the whip for the exclusive. And of course, the detail on the base, the detail for the Balrog look great. Gandalf, of course. The exclusive part again is just the whip. And here's another one. Love the whip right there, the sword. The only thing that I would say that I would have loved for this is, as you can see, the kind of the light up feature goes in the sword. You can see it in the sword, but unfortunately it doesn't translate or doesn't travel through the whip, which would have been nice to see that in the whip. They don't have it, for obvious reasons, but that would have been nice, which I don't know how they can accomplish that, but I know they can. That would have been even nicer, but it is what it is. It's not a bad whip either. And I love the detail. This is definitely going to be a very nice piece to display as a standalone. Now, when you think about the Lord of the Rings and the collectors that have been around for forever, I remember, always have to think about Weta Workshop as the company that everyone has always used as the standard. Weta Workshop has been in business for a very, very long time. They were involved in the process of the creation of the film. They were there. So they have been in partnership with the Lord of the Rings, and they've been so good with it, over the years. And one thing I would say about this, and I know a lot of people that are getting into this now for the first time, they might be bothered about the scale part, but Weta has never really been firm with scales. They have produced so many different sizes, so many different scales over the years. And I think in this case, Lord of the Rings collectors are so used to that. A lot of pieces are standalone pieces, and they do that with the different lines. I have talked about some of these pieces here in this channel. And here you can see an example of the LED illumination with the light up feature, without the light, and that looks amazing. Love the detail on those flames. Look at the detail on the flames. Man, that Balrog looks amazing. The light up feature is what makes it stand out. And here's what we talk about the scale. Even though it's not, of course, a 1/3, the size is 79.2 centimeters. So it's 20 centimeters, close to 1 meter, which is, this is going to be really, really tall. So yeah, it is tall as a 1/3. But it's not a 1/3 scale, and that's what you have to keep in mind. This is going to be a huge display. The footprint is really large, so yeah, that's the reason why they're charging us at the same price point as the 1/3 scale figures, the 1/3 scale statues. But here's the back. Love the detail. Love that detail, man. This is stuff that you didn't see in the movie, but now you can see it here. Well done. Many more pictures. I love every angle of this piece. Love that. Love that whip, actually. Look at the angle where he's grabbing it. Now look at this other angle. Very nice too. Love that detail. Now with the fire, of course, here you can see, I think this is just, they light it up with it's not part of the light up feature. This is just the Photoshop there. And this is what I'm talking about. I think if the light up feature travels all the way here, it's going to make it look even better, particularly in the dark. If you assembled this, or you displayed this in a dark room and, turn off the lights, and this light up features kind of work, they look amazing. That's one of the reasons why I love light up features. Not all the time. Some light up features are pretty much unnecessary. Some others are not well done, but when they're well done, they're terrific. And here's the base, as you can see, the Dwarf King right there. Very nice. That's a nice detail right there. I love this film, man. I love this part of this film, the end of the pretty much Fellowship of the Ring, and I love all that scene when they're pretty much in those caverns and those caves. Man, it's so amazing. Love the detail also in his skin. You can see his leg. The tail looks great. I love the paint job that they did. Some would say, well, this is an easy paint job because there's not much, I would say, difference or contrast between a lot of these colors, as you can see. But it is well done. The prototype is well done. Now, this part here, this is like, I would have loved to see more like maybe like a clear resin there, that would have been nice. Even if that had a lighter feature, would have been even perfect, because that's what the film is about. You know, like when you see that, you see like some type of, you know, power coming out, or some type of electric power coming through, a ray or light coming through. Have been nice if this one had a lighter feature. That would have given this piece even more presence. You know, the Balrog is taking over, really is the one, pretty much the center. But also you have to keep in mind that this is a battle between Gandalf and, in this case, the Balrog. So yeah, you want also to have, in this case, Gandalf to stand out. But love the detail on that. And here you can see more of it, more detail around. Again, I love every angle of this Balrog. Looks amazing. Now I can see this part I didn't see before. You can see the bones, skulls and stuff. Very nice. This is a nice piece all around. Love the detail. There's other Balrogs that have been created for action figures, and there's some that actually are sold through Sideshow, and they're fine. They're vinyl, and this is, you know, real. There's a real polystone, in this case, real resin, and I really love that. Man, that looks amazing. Look I love these pictures. I always have a good time when I come into Prime1 Studio, because they have tons of pictures and every angle, and they look terrific, and they really let your imagination go wild. And I love that. Love this angle with the fire. That looks amazing. I love this angle here from up top. So you can see, I love the detail there. Very nice. Very nice base. This is a well thought out piece. And every angle, you know, nitpicks here and there, mostly with lighter features, but beyond that, the detail, it's amazing at every angle. Love every part of this piece. Love that sword. Looks terrific. Look at that base with all those little details. Dioramas always, you know, made me, I don't know, made me feel as a kid. I remember as a kid going to museums. I always loved that. It's one of the reasons I love dioramas, because as a kid, I loved to go to museums and look at the miniature stuff. And that's one of the reasons I got into statue collecting, because I started collecting in the beginning years ago, even as a kid, miniature statues or anything that has to do with diecast. That was my thing, my introduction to statue collecting. My dad introduced me to that. Trains and all models and all that kind of stuff. So dioramas were kind of like a progression to it, and I love dioramas because of that. Of course, you know, over time I pretty much collected other scales, but I always go back to what really started me in statue collecting, which was dioramas and little things like this. And I love every detail. I'm glad that Prime1 is taking care of this. I hope we can get more dioramas, like based on the Two Tower film or the Return of the King. I would love to see more dioramas. You know, Weta has done a fantastic job and continues to do so. And I'm glad that companies like, in this case, again, like Aaron Studios and in this case Prime1 Studio, they are really getting into it. They really want to provide that, because there is a market for it. And I love every detail here. Love that in this case the Balrog's face. Love the horns, look fantastic. That lighter feature is going to be amazing. Look at that. Oh wow, that claw it's menacing, strong. Love that. And there's another angle from Gandalf. Again, I would love to see this more like a lighter feature there. That would have been nice, or more clear resin at the end. That would make it even better. That's just a nitpick, but definitely one that I would have loved to see. Another angle, man, this is an amazing piece. At any angle as you see it, it is an amazing piece of art. I'm definitely glad that Prime1 is doing it, and I would love to see the final product when it comes out. Well, guys, there you have it. I will tell you this. I'm a big fan of dioramas. It's one of my Achilles heel. Every time there is a new diorama, it really catches my attention. It's just something that I'm so attracted to. I don't care much about the scale. I don't care about the size. And a lot of people, for them, it's important to understand or to know a scale, proper scale. And they want these pieces to have a proper scale. But they are scale. They're just not telling you or letting you know what kind of scale it is. It is a small piece in comparison. They're just going by the size, and of course that's the reason why the price tag is so high. But it looks amazing. I love almost everything. A couple of things that maybe are nitpicks more than anything else, but that I would love to see in this piece. But beyond that, it's just a perfect representation of that iconic scene of, in this case, of the first film in the trilogy. And it's good. And I know that there are a lot of people out there that they are fans of the Lord of the Rings. There are a great number of collectors that they only collect Lord of the Rings stuff, and they're gonna go for this. This is, in my opinion, is going to be considered one of the best collectibles for this franchise. Doesn't mean that it's the only one, because Weta Workshop continues to be at the top I would say, the best company that produces, but our institute is also getting into it. So you are looking at all these companies really diving into it, and to me that's exciting. But what is your opinion? What do you think? Do you like this diorama? Do you think the price is fair? Do you love the concept? Let me know in the comments below. So once again, my friends, thanks for watching. God bless, take care, and I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.